today I will show you hard evidence why Bitcoin is just on the cusp of a major reversal back to the upside and will drag altcoins with it into new highs. If you want to know what I have exactly found here, then you should definitely not miss out on this episode, and let's go. Thank you so much for tuning in here on this Sunday today. So we jump directly into the charts. I don't want to waste any time because we have a lot of stuff to get through here. So today we are looking first at the CME chart, and there's already the first clue why I believe that we will go a little bit back here to the upside in the imminent short term. Remember what I always tell you guys, when we get a CME gap is usually closing between Sunday when CME is opening, my Sunday night, until early Wednesday morning. So if it did not happen in that time frame, the CME gap usually remains there for a while. But this CME gap here most likely will be getting filled between Monday and Tuesday. I'm not expecting this to immediately fill here when we are opening CME tonight. But Monday, Tuesday, so by tomorrow into after tomorrow, I believe that this will be getting closed here. So the current price level of Bitcoin is around $111,300. And then here we closed Friday at $114,500. So there is roughly a $3,000 CME gap. So that is like a 2.8% move roughly. If I measure that, let's go and measure that quickly. Yeah, so I was pretty close, 2.86. See, and that even without a calculator. Show me somebody else who can do that accurate. So yeah, so there you have already your first clue why Bitcoin will in the short term go back at least to $114,000. I believe Bitcoin will go even higher than that, but we also need to be aware of some, how to say that, yeah, some roadblocks along the way. So the next reason why Bitcoin will go back to the upside is when you are looking here at the open interest in Bitcoin. So the open interest got completely flushed out here in the recent downwards move, but you see it is already turning back here to the upside with the price together slightly. So we are here in a weekend right now, so don't expect here major jumps over the weekend. But by tomorrow into next week, I definitely expect that the open interest will ramp up again. And that means that more people are going to leverage the markets here once again. So, and something that you need to remember, the last time that we were here at these levels of open interest was here all the way over here in May. So 5 months ago, roughly. 5 months ago, we were the same time at these levels in open interest where we are right now. So, and then you saw what happens afterwards. You know, we heavily ramped up here to the upside. Or also here, the last drop here in open interest was really quickly recovered when you just look at the green bars, you know. So we, price broke down 7th to 9th of April. I'm gonna check quick the calendar on my phone. I should have done that before, but let's see here. 7th of April. There was a Monday. So on 9th is then a Wednesday. So on, yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday was when the open interest started to ramp up, and then, yeah, keep moving here to the upside. So I expect something similar to be happening here this coming week. Then the next factor that you need to take into account is the funding rates. The funding rates, they are still more negative than positive right now. So there are more shorts in the market, still more shorts in the market than actually long positions. So, and what is happening in the markets when we have more shorts than longs? We get squeezed. We get a short squeeze to the upside. So, and that's why I said in the thumbnail, there is a massive reversal coming. And that reversal will be led by a short squeeze to the upside where all these shorts that are currently in the market will get liquidated. So there will be, in my opinion, a massive bear trap for these people along the way. And guys, I see here we have 50 people on the stream, 60 people on the stream. Smash the like button. More people need to see the stream, guys. Here only people have liked the stream so far. Smash up the like button, please. Then when we're looking here at the funding rates across exchanges, so here Bitcoin is barely positive, so that you can say Bitcoin funding is right now more neutral than anything else. So, but Ethereum is negative funding. Again, an indication that more people are short than actually long, because now shorts are paying longs because they are in a disadvantage, so to speak, because the market is currently bearish biased. Now, when we're looking at the weekly chart, also here you get clues that we are going back to the upside. I explained the other day that we bounced off here this underlying massive upward sloping support level, and look at the wick in that candle, how much buy pressure came in here to buy the dip basically. So, and in 12 hours we are closing that weekly candle. Do you really think the next weekly candle will be another one to the downside? I don't think so. The next one will come up here and test the mid-range here of that upward sloping channel, which is currently at around $130,000. So I'm not saying that we have to reach $130,000 next week. So, but definitely at some point in the next 4 to 6 weeks, I see Bitcoin definitely tapping that level of that mid-range, of that mid-range band here. So, and if it would be happening somewhere in November, then we would be here at $137,000, $140,000, somewhere in that range. Now, when we're looking at the daily chart, sorry guys. So also here, you get an indication where Bitcoin is heading next to. So, and I have now, for that reason, pulled up the Fibonacci retracement levels. So first of all, as long as Bitcoin is holding this upward sloping trend line here, we are fine. And we will leading us into a new all-time high here, the previous on the way back up, to overcome, but also the next logical target when we're going here to the upside. And I'm going to show you that here on other charts right now. So, and before I do that, I just want to remind you here that the bearish divergence that I was pointing out for quite a while has completely played out, and the RSI is here on the daily already turning around back to the upside. So, which is of course a really bullish indication for us that this move is done, and that the directional move that we are leading into right now will be back to the upside. So even though I know there's a lot of people still thinking, oh no, there's like another big drop coming, there is not another big drop coming. There could be a smaller pullback still coming on the shorter time frames that I'm going to show you here in a moment. But overall, in the next 2-3 days, the direction is to the upside with a reclaim of $114,000, $115,000. Now, the 12-hourly chart is telling you already, really interesting story when you look at this. Because you see here also the RSI is coming out of oversold conditions, pushing back to the upside. The stochastic RSI is printing a buy signal here in the next a little bit less than 21 minutes when we are closing this 12-hourly candle, and will keep pushing it to the upside. But the level that you need to watch out for when you would take now a trade would be $116,900, $800 approximately, which is the bottom range of the EMA ribbon that will act as resistance when price will come up here. So that is something really important that you need to keep in mind now. If you want to take a trade, you can do that. You will make it like 3.67% to the upside if you would take from here, from here a long position. Oh, actually more. Yeah, 4.3%. So with a stop loss here below that candle. Let me see, 1, 2, 2 is still fine. Yeah, so that would be the trade setup, you know. So if you would enter right now, but I would definitely take profit here at $116,700 approximately, because the EMA ribbon is at that level acting as resistance, unless it will turn around here in the next, 1.5 days, more or less, you know. And we need the next 1.5 days to reclaim that with the price action to get above that, and then the EMA ribbon will basically just make a turn like this. So, but if price is not reclaiming that fast, then by Tuesday, Wednesday, the EMA ribbon will flip into a downwards trend, and you don't want to see this. So that's why price has to reclaim these levels fairly quickly to prevent that. But just in case that we are not able to do that, that's for that reason I would take profit here at $116,700. So, but an indication that we actually go up there will be the next 12-hourly candle, and when you wait maybe 2-3 hours and you see on the MACD a lighter red candle popping up, that will be a massive indication for the start of the reversal back into higher levels. Now, why do I believe that there is a slim, or a quite high, not slim, so this is a quite high probability that we still go a little bit lower. This comes from the way that the price action is shaped up here in the current here. Oh, come on, give me the color back. So you see here, take profit signal, a reversal indication, here the second take profit signal. So here's a little bit different because we have here a proper round dot, but we had here also on the reacting indicator two dot plots, which usually mark a bottom, and then we still went a little bit lower, got another take profit signal over here, then after that sideways range, the buy tag, and then we push to the upside again into new all-time high. So I would be not surprised, guys, I would be absolutely not surprised if price gets sent one more time here down to like $108,000, $107,000 before we are turning around. So I want you to be aware of that this is definitely a possibility right now, that this could be happening before we keep going higher. So the only way that this could be prevented is if we break $112,900, $113,000 and close a 4-hourly candle above that level. Only then I would say, okay, this is right now out of the realm of possibilities in the short term. And the next level that we would most likely see on the 4-hourly chart. So also this I want to show you. Again, golden ratio here, more or less in alignment with these two white lines. 116,700 to 117,370. That would be the next logical target on the 4-hourly chart to go back to. So, and of course, again, if you take a trade from $113,000 here based on the 4-hourly chart, again, this is more or less the same setup that I just shown you on the 12-hourly chart. You know, it's more or less exactly the same thing. And it doesn't matter which way you do that, you know. So, but just in case that we come lower, first, I would take this trade from here from $108,700, and then I would trade this straight into the major liquidity up here to $126,000 in the prior all-time high. So that is a bigger trade and basically a swing trade, because that will take a couple, I would say at least 2-3 weeks, maybe even longer than that, to reach these levels again here. Maybe it's faster, you know, so maybe the market makers will surprise us. But yeah, I would not bet on that this is happening in the next 1 or 2 weeks, that we go straight back here to new all-time highs. So, but it will come, you know, it will happen. It's gonna come. I'm not worried about that at all. So, and so if we go a little bit lower, then this is definitely the next trade setup that I would be looking out for. So here, another reason why we could go first lower, if we are not breaking here $113,000 fairly quickly in the next, let's see, how much time do we have for that? Maybe 2-3 hours, I would say. 2-3 hours from current levels here. So we're breaking out right now. So the target here of that pennant breakout, if we actually break it to the upside, would be $118,375. So you can trade this if you want. You can trade this. It's up to you. But I don't like a bearish pennant here breaking to the upside. So sometimes they go against the grain, you know, and they break actually to the upside. And this would be here on your setup. But personally, I don't like to trade them, you know. So full transparency, I am in a Bitcoin trade right now, but not based on this pattern, you know. So I'm not based on this pattern. I knew that, I know it was here. Yes, so there, I get in at, okay, a little bit higher than where we're at right now. $112,282 is where I got in. So here, I just show it to you in the camera so that you see a full transparency, guys. So there. Yeah, so I'm currently slightly in a loss on that trade on 10x leverage. But I don't believe that we're going to get here another 10% move to the downside, hence why I use 10x leverage on that trade, you know. So, but this is more a swing trade. I want to hold this at least until $130,000 is my price target on that trade. So before that, I will not close that. So it's not based on what I'm showing you today. I took this trade. Basically, the when was that? Yesterday when I woke up and the crash happened? Yeah. So basically yesterday morning when I woke up, that was when I immediately took that trade. So yeah, totally unrelated to what I'm showing here right now. So but Bitcoin is trying to break out here out of that pennant to the upside. The indicators telling me on the 30-minute time frame that we are potentially actually going to do that. But I would be careful that this is not just a fake out, you know. So, and for not being a fake out, we need to reclaim $113,000. I cannot say this often enough. If you want to take any of these trades, guys, then go to Blowfin. You get up to $5,000 in bonuses there. I trade most of my Bitcoin trades still on Blowfin, also Ethereum. It's non-KYC, really important. And if you deposit at least $500, I will give you access to my private VIP Telegram group where we're going to trade $500 to $10,000. With my help, I will basically take you on the hand to achieve that, you know. So I will be highly active there, most likely from tomorrow or after tomorrow. So, and there will be another exchange also coming up where I will just be doing with two, you know. So then it's not Blowfin anymore. So if you want to do it on Blowfin, you have basically until tomorrow. After tomorrow, then it will be with a different exchange. But if you get a Blowfin account right now and do this, you get still in with Blowfin. So yeah, take advantage of that. There is a link in the description for that, and after the stream also in the pinned comment. Now on the liquidation levels, here is the fuel that we are looking for to get here into higher price levels again. So also here, clearly to be seen is that around the $116,000 level is the 200 moving average. Here at 117,000, basically 118,000 is a little bit of liquidity here in terms of short positions, but not a lot, not a lot. So we could wick up here and then come down, consolidate before we get then the next move to the upside. So, but first, of course, we're gonna take out the over leveraged liquidity that's just sitting above current price at 112,400 to 113,200, and then also above that 114,680 to 115,446. Now, when we're looking at the liquidation heat map, and I go here to the last 3 days. So here, you see where the next short squeeze is coming from, and that is when we are reclaiming $113,000. So that's why I'm talking about all the time, the $113,000 level, because this is going to fuel the short squeeze past $115,000. $115,472 is most likely the level where we're going to stop, where we're going to wick into, and then we're going to turn around a little bit, consolidate between slightly below 115 and above 115 for a little bit, and then we're going to squeeze higher. And I can tell you already, here $122,000, $123,000 is a massive target right now to push price back to the upside. So again, this will most likely not happen tomorrow. It will take a week or two to get there, maybe even longer, but you know the target is out there, you know. So and here below, at $108,000, $109,000. Again, that's why I'm telling you there is the probability that we go down here, take this out before we go completely to the upside, because of the way that we are consolidating after a drop, which usually leads to a smaller continuation drop to the downside before you get the proper reversal. But right now, when I look here back to the 30 minutes chart, yeah, if I get here in 10 minutes. Yeah, a little bit more of a push here, start pushing here into higher levels, and that we are not turning around again. Now, when we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance got here a massive spike 2 days ago in that drop to the downside. So, but since then, started to pull back here. Remember what I said, as long as we are not above the 60% level or stay long time above the 60% level, we should be fine, and then start to go down here. So now we actually came exactly to these levels that I had marked out, which was here 62.68 here with this arrow, with that path arrow. And from there we pulled back to the downside. So I don't expect that the dominance for the remainder of the bull run will come back here into these levels ever again, you know, like 62, 63%, this is done and dusted, you know. So that was the last, basically the last gasp of the dominance here to the upside. And now it's overall just downwards trajectory. And that will now finally lead to the altcoin season that we are so much waiting for. And at the same time, you can still take massive advantage of altcoins that are at a discount. I'm gonna show you here in a moment which ones that are, which exactly are still at a massive discount and still massively oversold, that you need to take advantage of right now before it's too late. Because maybe tomorrow already it will change. You know, maybe they start going up like crazy from tomorrow. You know, so that you need to take advantage of that right now. So here, the total free market cap is above $1 trillion again, which is really good. Overall, here the $980 billion level has held as support. We did not close a candle body below that, so which is a really bullish sign here in the short and midterm for me. And now in this following week, I expect a reclaim of at least $1.06 trillion, so all the way back up here. So something like this here. Then we consolidate a little bit, and then we get here by the end of next week, most likely a push here back above $1.13 trillion, and a move into a new all-time high here past $1.2 trillion. If you want to trade altcoins, guys, you know the drill. I trade on Bybit. Most of my altcoin trades, you get up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses there, plus the Bybit card. You know, I preach you every single day, get the Bybit card, guys. 10% cashback on everything what you buy. You can, in one single transaction, you can pay, I think, $13,000 or $50,000 in one single transaction. So if you are like me and you spend sometimes crazy money in a week, you know, sometimes I look at my balance, I'm like, whoa, I spent that much, like $10,000, $12,000, but I got like $1,200 back, you know, so at the same time, so which is actually nice. And sometimes I forget, you know, because Bybit is putting this not straight back in your normal like trading account, you know, it's in the card account. So sometimes I have to go and look, you know, and then I find there a couple $1,000s that I forgot about that I got from the cashback. So yeah, you should definitely take advantage of that with the link in the description to get a Bybit account, guys. Now, how do I know which altcoins are massively oversold? For that, I went to CoinGlass and looked at the RSI heat map. So on the RSI heat map, you get a clear indication here, oversold area, you know, and then you look at the coins, which might be a really good buy right now from other technical perspectives, and which held strongly up in that move to the downside. So which ones you want to get in? So one of them was definitely Ethereum. Ethereum is now struggling to get here above $3,860, but when I look here at the indicators, stochastic turning around, RSI about to print a buy signal, MACD most likely by Monday, the daily close of Monday turning around. So that tells me that I can expect Ethereum to be trading here by Tuesday, Wednesday, back above $4,000. So that's where I see Ethereum in the next 2-3 days, back above $4,000, $4,100. So also here, trade. Sorry, guys. So next trade setup for Ethereum. If you want to take a swing trade, and I would definitely take a swing trade here because this can go really quickly, I would actually go here $5,000. 29% to the upside. You don't need crazy leverage to take that trade, you know, but on Ethereum you can go a little bit more crazy than on other altcoins. Here I would also go with like, yeah, I would go with like 10x leverage. Yeah, 7, 8 maximum, I would say. 7, 8 is fine, you know, 7, 8x leverage on Ethereum trade. So if you trade it with 8x, you make $240% to the upside, you know, once we hit $5,000. So if you trade with $10,000, so you would make $24,000. So which is amazing, you know. So yeah, that is the next Ethereum trade that I'm seeing here. But on the way up, you need to take some profit or raise your stop loss when we approach $4,400 and $4,300, because there is the VPVR and the point of control right now for Ethereum. So that's something that you need to keep in mind when you are entering this trade. So what I would do is I would set alarms at these levels if you want to trade this manually, but a lot of alarms that you actually fall out of your bed, you know. So yeah, to to see what's happening when we approach these levels, you know. So and then I would definitely set my stop loss when we are here at $4,300 to 4,100, just to make sure that if you get stopped out, you get stopped out with profit and can re-enter at the same level or at a lower level into the same trade. Now with Solana, Solana on the daily chart, let's also have a look here. Looks pretty similar to Ethereum. So here, I have personally already entered a really huge spot position on Solana. I think a little bit higher actually, if I'm not mistaken, because I did this yesterday. No, I'm not that sure. Maybe at 178 is when I entered this. Yeah, I think 178 is when I entered that Solana trade. So I'm a little bit in a profit here, but nothing really crazy. So here, if we can close today above the 170, yeah, basically $180. Also here, I expect continuation to the upside, at least to the $212 level. So why $212? Because here's a massive imbalance in that candle. So, and that goes actually all the way up to 216. But here at 212, there is some massive resistance up here right now from prior price action. And that's why I would cut my trade there, or at least raise my stop losses if the trade turns against me. So, but like I said, I would take the trade all the way from here once this daily candle is closed. So wherever, if the daily candle closes above $180, wherever the price is, that's from where I'm going to take the trade. You know, if it's at 186, if it's at 181, it doesn't matter, you know. So wherever the price is after the daily close of this current candle, that's where I would enter this. So let's say it would be around the same level. So then you're looking at here 18% roughly, 18% to the upside. So with a stop loss here at the bottom of these candles, so you have here 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio, absolutely fine. 4.35% stop loss, 17.64% profit to the upside. Here again, don't go crazy on leverage. 5x more than enough, you know, on Solana. You make here roughly 90% to the upside on the upside on the trade here. Now, other coins that I'm looking at and also hold positions with. So it's here Hyperliquid. After the shit show that I saw with Esther, I'm not trading Esther right now anymore after I see some major improvements. I still believe that Esther overall will do really well, but I don't think that Esther is one of the coins right now that you want to be in on that rebound to the upside. So I think Hyperliquid will lead the way in terms of DEX tokens. And you can see that also in the strength of Hyperliquid here. Here on the 1 hourly chart, we're about to print a buy signal. The MACD is already bullish. The RSI is going to the upside. And we are just staying here for now in that trading range from $36.25 to $39 approximately. Once we are leaving that range, you're going to see that we are going really quickly here to $44 or even higher than that. Yeah, but $44 would be... $44, $45 would be the first stop here once we're leaving the current trading range. Now, from where would I enter a trade if I would be not, or from $39? So these are the two levels that you can look out for. Then a little bit lower, yeah, 15% is fine. So, and then there's, we need a tighter stop loss here. Yeah, this is still fine. So you have here almost a 5% stop loss against a 15% move to the upside. That would be my trade. So me personally, I'm in here somewhere from here, I think. So for me, it's a little bit more profit for the same trade setup. Yeah, so I make 7% more to the upside. So, but I basically got in here in that wick of that candle. So that's why I got in, because it was really close here to the $36.25 level. That's why I took the trade, because it was that close, you know. So right now I would not enter this at the current level because you're in no man's land. But because we came close here to the bottom of the trading range, I entered that trade earlier. Then yesterday somebody asked about Jasme. So here is something with Jasme that I want to show you guys, and this applies to many other coins out there too, is these downward sloping trend lines. When you see them over a multi-month forming and then breaking to the upside, they have massive, massive impulse moves every single time. So here, massive impulse move in 2024. And that was a crazy move from the break. Here, almost a 190% move to the upside. So then the last time was a little bit more shallow. Last time was 61%. So, but the next one, from current levels, because we dropped so much, I believe that this could be at least a 67.8% move to the upside from current price levels. So if you want to trade this on spot, you can enter this right now. If you don't want to use more than 3x leverage, you can also enter this right now. If you want to use anything else more than that, I would not recommend that unless we are breaking here the downward sloping trend line. So otherwise, I would stay away from more leverage. But here on the daily chart, everything looks like that we are turning around right now. The RSI is pointing to the upside. The MACD needs to lose sell pressure, but I think that's going to happen by today's daily close. And the stochastic is also about to turn around here and to create a buy signal, and that will get us here above a cent. Wait, we are already above a cent. So this is, what level is this here? Almost 1.1 cents. So almost 1.1 cents. So that would be also a safe level to enter into a long position, unless you want to wait for the break of the downward sloping trend line, which would be an even more safe entry, an even safer. Is that the right word? Safer entry? Yeah, maybe. Sorry, my English got a little bit degraded while I was gone. Still working on it. Work in progress to get it back. So, but yeah, let's move on here. ICP is another coin that you need to have on your list right now. So once we are reclaiming here $3.32 with 1 hourly, yeah, safer entry, yeah. So once we are above $3.32, expect that you're going to get a quick impulse move to the upside. Also here, same reason that I mentioned earlier, massive imbalance in this candle here. Massive, massive imbalance all the way up to $4.22. I think we're going to go a little bit higher to $4.44, and that will give you overall 34.3% of a return. But be careful when price is coming up here to the downward sloping trend line. So if this takes a little bit of time to actually move all the way up here to $4.40, let's say this takes until mid-end November, so you will get here a move into that downward sloping resistance that could prevent that we reach $4.46 and get first slammed down before then you get that break. So then I would take profit here along that downward sloping trend line, which is a moving target. So, but yeah, maybe just screenshot this video, you know, so and the screen here that you know from where that line is coming on the daily chart here on Bybit, so that you can draw that yourself. And then you just have that always in mind, you know, so that if price gets closer to this downward sloping trend line, that you need to take profit there instead of from the horizontal level. So, and then if we break that horizontal level, we will go even higher, and that is almost a 100% move here to $6.63. So now some other coins that I had mapped out. One of them I want to talk already. No, so different. Oh wait, different chart, really? It's on a different chart? Okay. Then this is over here. Mantle. So we need to talk about Mantle, because Mantle is one of the coins that I told you that I took a massive position in for a really, really simple reason. And I explained this the other day. This coin is heavily pushed by Bybit. So, and because it's so heavily pushed, I knew this coin will not stay long in these levels here where it was trading. So only today it went back up over 12%. I think on the high it was 14-15%. So, but we are unfortunately exactly around the levels where I entered it yesterday in that wick here, you know, so in that wick on that charts. But you see here a reclaim of the 0.786 level. So, and I'm really, really, really sure that we're going to close above that level here of $1.76. And if we're closing above that level, you're going to get here the next move straight into the golden ratio, most likely by tomorrow or after tomorrow, because here the indicators are all prepping to push price more to the upside. So here, stochastic, massive signal to the upside, Sorry, stochastic down here, massive to the upside. RSI pointing straight to the upside. MACD also turning around here. So by Tuesday, Wednesday, we are past $2 here again. So and also here, massive imbalance. Once again, massive imbalance all the way up to $2.30. So maybe I will even hold this until $2.30. I'm not sure yet. So because currently my target is here in that golden ratio where I'm going to take some profit. So would I enter this right now? For this, I have to go to the 15-minute chart or 30-minute chart. They're telling me, not really, at least the indicators telling me here, especially the 1 hourly is telling me not to touch that. But here comes a big but, guys. You need to look at price action. Price action is superior to indicators. So if price breaks $1.83 and keeps pushing past that level, forget indicators. You cannot trust indicators anymore because that is then a momentum push that is not driven by indicators anymore. So and then it will just rip to the upside. So and if you want to take a trade from there, I'm gonna give you here again a setup. So and then just into $2. So that is here a 9.2% move to the upside. Well, but you have to have a tight stop loss. Let's see here. Yeah, whoa. So I have to make it a little bit bigger. So here, stop loss at $1.78 roughly. Yeah, $1.78, 2.9% against a 9.23% profit here to the upside into the golden ratio. And you see here, price tries already with the new 4-hourly candle that we just opened to push it past $1.83. So would I enter this right now? No, I would wait just a little bit for the current 15-minute candle. So the current 15-minute candle, if that is closing where it is right now, then most likely the next one will start pushing above that level. So and that's where I would enter. Now, we have other coins that we need to talk about. One of them, wait, now I need to look again on which chart I had that, SNX. Yeah, so SNX moved here yesterday, again a little bit lower than what I expected. Current levels, I would actually enter from current levels. So and then you look here to the upside at 21.5%. And from current price levels, roughly 22.7%. Yeah, 22.7%. If you would enter this right now, also here, Tuesday, Wednesday, we are back at like $1.23 or scratching at that level. If we go all the way back to the high that we had just before the drop, that would be from current levels a 45% move. So, and I'm going to show you here, if you want to see that, again, what's happening after such a massive drop, how quickly coins are recovering. You know, so they are recovering faster than most people anticipate, and that catches them off guard, and that's why they're missing out on massive moves here. So the same with ALGO. So here, ALGO, I wait for 19 cents 50 basically. So once that level is reclaimed, which is a 2% move right now to the upside, it will go here to 21.7 cents and 23.6 cents. So if you enter from here, you're looking at 12% and at 21%, 22% almost. And here you have a really strong candle pushing right now on the daily. When you look on the RSI, how sharp the RSI is going up, this is what you want to see in many coins right now. At least the coins that you want to trade, these are the really strong coins that that will keep pushing in the next coming days. So another one is here 1 inch, but that was not one that I prepared. So let me see here. Nope. What was that here? Yeah, so here. Injective. Once we reclaim $8.93, which is a 3% move, I think. Yeah, roughly a 3% move higher. Also here, Injective will start flying because this is an insane imbalance here in that candle. All the way back to $11.81. So if we go just back to $11.81, this alone is already a 33% move roughly from current price levels. So, but you want to trade the safe from $8.93, you want to enter this from there. Then you, again, pay attention to the downward sloping trend line when we approach that. and that is converging with a horizontal level too, horizontal resistance. But once that breaks, expect that we are flying straight to $11 and higher. And the ultimate target here in the short term would be the upper range from where we got rejected at $13.52. Now, render is also still on my radar. You see, we are just above here, the bottom level, which I pointed out. You know, I said pay attention to that. We might come back down here before we go back. Now we are actually at that bottom range. So if you were looking for a render trade, that's your opportunity. You know, that's the opportunity to here $5.20, big swing trade here. But here again, downward sloping trend line at around $3.73, or if we would reach that in the next coming days, or until next Sunday, it would be $3.90 roughly. So here you can take a trade from current price levels if you want to enter this. So also here, if you do this right now, and just here to the downward sloping trend line, you're already looking at 53.69%. So we'll stop loss here at the bottom of that downward sloping support line. So yeah, so massive trade setups right now. So massive opportunity actually for everybody out there. So if you're not taking trades right now, when do you want to take them? You know, so because you don't know when you get these cheap prices here ever again. You know, the same here with AVAX, which I showed the other day. So, but I think I did this on a weekly chart because this is so cramped up here. Let's see, does it look better? Yeah, that looks way better. So, but of course, given the case, you still have money left, you know, and did not get completely rinsed in that drop. So trust me, it hurt me also quite a lot that drop to the downside. So, but here reclaim at a reclaim of $22.08. That's where I want to enter this for AVAX, and then trade this here to $40.83. So which is not the all-time high, you know. So I just want that we are above that downward sloping trend line, and then I reassess. You know, if I cut the trade, if I get completely out of the trade, if I just raise my stop loss just below that downward sloping trend line, you know. So, but first target is here $42.83, and then I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with that trade, if I let it run or not, you know. So, or here $36. So there is like a 12-15% range in between, you know. So yeah, maybe I will just do that. Depends on what the market is doing. I need the right chart here for Dash. Yeah, so here we go. I just told you guys, I told you the other day, yesterday or the day before that, I said, look at Dash. You know, look at Dash. Dash is one of the privacy coins. I gave you that at $39, I think. Must have been 39. Yeah, 39. Maybe it was a little bit over 40. But look at where it is now. Today, 46% up. So here, would I enter this right now and chase that? No, I would not chase that. So when I would enter this is here. Either another 7% to the upside, but I want the 7% to be happening today, or you get here a retrace to at least $54. So, and if $54 is not holding as support, here, that's the level that you want to watch, $54. So if that's breaking down and we go lower, you have to decide either to cut it at $47 or to add more to that trade to prevent liquidation if you're not taking this on spot. On spot, you can definitely take this right now. I will not even wait because I believe that Dash will pull a Zcash move here. So, and that was just the beginning of that, you know. So because Zcash, I don't have to tell you, you know, Zcash is here still at $266 right now. So if I go here to a daily chart, so we could pull back here to 248, but I think then Zcash will go again, you know. So and then it will go straight to $361. So here on the daily chart, it looks definitely overbought, and also here a sell signal. So hence why I'm thinking that it will come a little bit down here into the golden ratio. But I think the golden ratio will hold because there's so much momentum in this coin right now. It's insane. You know, the drop yesterday, 2 days ago, did not really impress Zcash, and Zcash was like, you know what, I go straight back where I came from, you know, and that was one of the only coins that actually did that. Another one that did something similar was here Bell, but here I don't have a chart layout. Why don't? Maybe I did this also over here. I knew that, no. Strange, was not charting this. So, but yeah, Bell yesterday went also, I think almost 100% up. Only yesterday. Yeah, here 103% in one daily candle. So from that drop, straight back up where it came from. So insane. We are more or less at the same levels again where we were before. So you have to pay attention to these coins right now, because there's not a lot of them, but they have insane strength currently. 112,500, yeah, does definitely look possible. Let me see here. No, so that's absolutely fine. Yeah. So as you can see, there's a lot of opportunity in the market right now. You need, of course, to watch a little bit what Bitcoin is doing here over the next coming hours. But things are looking really, really good for us. I know that that drop did not only hurt you, but it also hurt me a lot. But every single time when we have drops like this in the market, these black swan events, usually coins tend to recover really, really quickly and giving you an opportunity window that goes beyond the actual drop event. So in this window is what we are seeing right now, and this window is closing, guys. This window is closing. You have not a lot of time to still take advantage of that. I know it's uncomfortable to push the buy button right now because a lot of people think, oh, we might go actually lower, and we actually will go another 5-10% lower in altcoins. So, but you have to think about be way higher than the best moment to pull the trigger. And with that, guys, I'm gonna leave. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you with more money tomorrow.